about happiness. That's been something that's on my mind. A lot of people, I think, get it confused. Basically, you are responsible for your own happiness. Happiness doesn't include anything outside of you. It's all within you. Basically, like a state of mind. Have you ever recognized how people like in Africa, like say children in Africa that have like less than we have, how they're so happy and, you know, nothing can really get them down? That's because they don't know materialistic things like we do. We associate happiness with materialistic things or people, or when I get to this certain position, if I make this amount of money, when I do this or when I do that. But it's all internal. It's all a state of mind. Where you are right now, you can be happy. Basically, it's something that you have to work at like daily in order to, you know, to be happy. And you have to be able to identify the problems that are going on that are keeping you from being happy. Have you ever noticed like some people, every day is a bad day to them and they just have attitude, or they just seem like a bitch? That's because they have certain blockages that are holding them. It's like basically like they're being held captive to the past, like something that happened to them. They keep reliving it and staying in that space. You have to release certain things in order to be happy, in order to get to certain places. So the whole point of the video is to make people realize if it's something going on with you, you need to get to the root of what's going on with you in order to be happy, you know, in order to work through your baggage, your problems, because that's what we're here for. I can only speak for myself. I know for me as a person, I had a blockage that was keeping me from being happy. I used to be down on myself. It's about the way that you talk to yourself. So I used to be smaller, like slim, thick or whatever. So when I gained weight, I used to always compare myself to like the older me. I stopped doing that recently. I was selective about the words that I use and how I look at myself, how I talk to myself and things like that. But I used to always compare myself to the old me. So of course, that was keeping me stuck in time. It was like I couldn't appreciate where I am now. Like, I have a nice body now, but I couldn't appreciate the body that I have or the things that I have now because I was always down on myself, pointing out things that weren't there before and things like that. So when you realize things like that, you have to address it and you have to work through it. One of the things that I did was I made myself, you know, look at myself in the mirror, like without my clothes on, and just appreciated everything about myself. I just took myself in and I said I wanted to look at myself as like someone else. Sometime last year, I was talking to this girl, like, you know, usually getting to know somebody or whatever. She had like a nice body, like a almost perfect body. So of course it made me like compare myself again to the old me. And it's like, she gave me a compliment one day and I was just like, well, my stomach, I started talking about my stomach and she was just like, I love everything about you. And she touched my stomach and I was just like, something clicked. It's like, are you crazy? You know, like, it's like, why are you like so hard on yourself, so down on yourself? Like, it's crazy. So it really made me like go in like inside of myself and really start to look at myself and the things that I say about myself. That's when I started to like look at myself in the mirror and just really take me in and look at myself from someone else's perspective, like what someone else sees right now, because I'm constantly looking in the past, what I used to look like, what I used to be like, and it's really unfair because we age, you know, we get older. And it also made me want to work on the things that I didn't like. So I started going to the gym, you know, like working on the things that I didn't like about myself. Like, okay, I could lose some pounds. Like, I mean, I know this. I'm aware I could lose some weight. So I was like, okay, let me go to the gym. When I started going to the gym, I started feeling about myself. I started getting more confidence and things like that. So if it's something that you don't like about yourself, if it's like something that you can work on, that you can work towards, just do it. You know, it will make you feel better in the end. We can all, you know, get healthier. We can all use that in our lives. So if it's something that you can work on, just work on it and just appreciate where you are and just love yourself. Remind yourself of how beautiful you are. Like, and stop comparing yourself to other people and, you know, to the old you, because that was my problem. And I'm just sharing, you know, my story with you because that's all that I can do is let you know my frame of mind, where I'm coming from, an example of me. I don't have any children or anything like that. It's just me. I'm single and everything like that. But I realized that some people do have families and do have children. And once you become a parent, basically, you're putting someone outside of yourself before yourself. The baby comes first, or the marriage or something like that. So a lot of times with things like that, we can become complacent and we end up putting ourselves on the back burner. Once that happens, you lose sight of who you are, you know, and what makes you happy, the things that you used to be, the things that you used to like, you know, who you are now as a whole. So if that's happening to you, just realize and recognize what's going on and try to identify and get to the root of the problem. That way you can get back to who you used to be, or maybe you're, you know, different altogether, but just find out what, you know, could make you happy. And basically stop putting other people before you. Just try to put yourself first, make time for yourself. Self-love is serious. Love on yourself. Do things that make you happy. A lot of people that are in relationships that don't really have a voice because it's like, oh, for the betterment of the family or, to keep someone else happy. Your happiness is number one. So always make sure that you stay true to who you are. If you're not with something, just let them know. If you have to let them know lightly or firmly, just always keep it real. Just let someone know, what you're going through. Don't ever put yourself last, but, because that can cause, trauma and different things for you. So just let someone know where you are. If you're in a relationship with someone, stop hiding and stop, suppressing your real feelings. Let the person know what's going on with you, how you really feel. If they really love you and they're really for you, they will be there for you through this, through anything. There are some people that are totally stuck in the past. I think I saw a quote somewhere that said, depression is being stuck in the past. Anxiety is basically being stuck in the future. So basically what you need to do is scale it back and become present with yourself. If you are angry daily, that's a problem. Like, you really have to look into that. You need to address that. If it's something that happened to you, like say someone was molested 10 years of their life, almost every day, that may be so traumatic that you may need therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong with speaking with someone. There's nothing wrong with wanting to better your life. It does not make you weak. It makes you strong. You're a person. You have to identify that there's something going on with you. In order to free yourself, you may need assistance. You may not be able to pull yourself out of that hole. So if you need to speak with someone, most insurance companies, I know they offer like behavioral health or, look into how you can receive the help that you need to receive. You have to do that in order to move forward. If you have a blockage and something is wrong with you every day, it's a bad day. Every day isn't supposed to be a bad day. You're supposed to make sure that you make it a great day by your mindset, by your attitude. If it's too much for you to understand or to get to that point, then you need to speak with someone. That way you can free yourself because you are totally stuck in the past. When it comes to happiness, you have to be careful about the energy that you surround yourself with. Say, for instance, you're a positive person, you're a happy person, but your mate is negative or something is always wrong with them. They always find the bad in something. You need to be aware of what's around you because that can bring you down to your energy and your happiness as well. Me personally, I only have positive people around me. If it's someone, like I know you have some family members that, you can't get rid of, but please believe my time around them is limited. They don't see me often. They don't speak to me often because that is draining. I can't have anything that's mentally draining that would bring down my spirit. So just make sure that you're with people that can charge you, that can lift you and on the same wavelength as you, because otherwise it's totally defeating the whole purpose. How can you be happy when you have someone that's constantly bringing you down and giving your problems to them? Because that's basically what they do. So just be careful and protect your energy. All about perspective, how you look at things. Every night you close your eyes and you wake up and it's a new day and it's the sun out. That's for a reason. That's to remember that it's a new day. It's a new opportunity. You cannot bring your problems from yesterday and today. How is that fixing anything? It's not. So the way that you look at things is very important. You have to see the positive in things. You have to see the good in things. You have to understand how blessed that you are. If you're looking at me right now, that means that you have a device and you have some type of service in order to listen to me, in order to see me. You have eyesight. You have to understand how blessed that you are. And you have to appreciate where you are. And just always just keep that in mind. Just always make it a priority to be happy. Listen to music that makes you happy. Go to places that make you happy. Do things. Speak to people that make you happy, that uplifts you. Like, do what you have to do to continue daily to work on your happiness because it's very important. So happiness is and will always be your responsibility. Just make a conscious effort every day to actively seek happiness, to do what it takes to make you happy. If you need therapy, there is no judgment. Get the therapy. Whatever you need to do in order to move forward, just make sure you do it that way you can heal because that's what life is all about. Get through whatever you have to get through and be happy.